Looking for a companion that actually fits your needs? Don't worry, I got you covered. Yes, even you new players. Since we've been getting a ton of questions about our companion choices, both in the comments and in our Discord server, link for that in the description, we figured it's time to finally make a companion guide. Editing Zefā here, sorry for the introduction. We are holding a fashion frame contest on our Discord in the near future for a Gemini skin of the winner's choosing. If you're interested in that, go join it, cause it is Discord only. Before we dive in, let me make one thing clear. This guide is mainly focused on the companions we run in our level cap builds, specifically built for priming and quality of life. So if you're expecting a mecha or a Verglass setup, yeah, wrong channel. We think nuke setups are just boring. And lastly, listen to what I say in the video before commenting. Thank you. So, how is this guide structured? Good question. I'll be covering 4 points. A. Where to get the companion. B. The exact config we use and why we use it. C. Where to farm the mods we're using. D. Potential adjustments you could do to fit your own playstyle. We primarily run 3 companions, but I threw in a 4th option for you newer players. Something that works and is easy to replicate with minimal grind. With that said, let's start with a beginner friendly setup, shall we? Let's talk about Taxon. This companion is perfect for newer players. It's available super early in the game. I'm pretty sure this was the first companion most of us had, since you can just buy it immediately after finishing the tutorial. So how do you get Taxon? Open the in-game market and type in Taxon into the search bar. There you can buy its blueprint for 5,000 credits. To craft it, go to the foundry. There you will need 15,000 credits, 500 ferrite, 200 polymer bundles, 200 rubedo, and 1 neurot. Here's a quick resource farming guide for you newer players. Credits you get from killing or completing any mission. Dark sector missions are your best bet. Ferrite, rubedo, and neurotes, they drop on Earth from enemy kills or from containers. Just go around looting everything. And for polymer bundles, you find them on Venus. It's the same as the others, just go around killing enemies or looting. This should take you like 15 to 20 minutes max, if you don't already have these resources. Since this is meant to be a beginner friendly setup, I set myself 3 restrictions. First off, no Forma, second off, no hard to get mods, and third, only 1 Orokin reactor on Taxon. This build focuses on survivability and priming a single target with viral radiation and cold. It even kills weaker enemies, but that's besides the point. Okay, let's talk about the mod setup. And let's talk about what to get where. Vacuum, it comes with any companion when claimed from the foundry. Molecular conversion and retarget comes with Taxon, you will instantly have these. Easily farmable mods. Regen, it drops from infested chargers, you find them in Dark Sector missions, or in Deimos, or in Eris. Guardian, drops some Nox units, these are Grineer, or Orokin shield drones in the Void. Now, these slightly harder mods to farm, but they are worth it. Synth Deconstruct, you need to do Fortuna bounties level 20 to 40. The best option is to either set the lobby to public, or you look in the recruitment chat for people to help you. This is needed for early on energy sustain, combined with equilibrium. Momentous Bond. You can buy this from the business in Fortuna once you reach rank 3. The easiest way to get standing is to just go around, mine gems in Fortuna, and then bring them to Smokebringer. Or you just farm bounties while aiming for Synth Deconstruct. Either way, reach rank 3 and you should easily get this. And lastly, Manifold Bond. This can be bought from Master Tezonai once you reach rank 3 at Cetus. The same method as Fortuna, mine gems or do bounties. For the companion weapon, we have its innate weapon, Artax. If you don't have the 6060 mods yet, you can use the normal versions of the mods, like Cryo Rounds, Infected Clip, Hellfire. It will just be less efficient. Stormbringer drops some various enemies, just play the game and you will get it. Malignant Force is a Toxin 6060 mod, drops from Corrupted 4 in Void missions. I recommend the mod Survival. He spawns 5 to 8 minutes in, kill him, leave and repeat. Rime rounds and Thermite rounds are spy mission rewards. Complete all vaults without failing and you will have a chance to get them. Optional mods you could put into Taxon that I have not mentioned. Animal Instinct, it gives you enemy and loot radar. You get these from Nightmare missions. You could also play Duplex Bond. This is just for better priming through the usage of clones which can't use abilities, but they can still shoot enemies. Or really anything else that fits your playstyle. Regarding the open source on Artax, honestly, The weapon doesn't matter that much. As long as you're running viral and radiation, play whatever you want. It does not matter. Next up, we have the Panzer Wupperfaller. It's essentially a weaker Hound, but it has some unique advantages over the Hound. For example, like group armor stripping that make it worth running in some certain builds. Let's look at how we get it. I won't go into extreme detail with this, but the TLDR is head to Deimos, pull out your trank rifle, look for a Wupperfaller spot on your map, use the Wupperfaller Echo Lure, trank the Panzer Wupperfaller with the trank rifle and then extract. Then go to Sun and select your mutagen and antigen. My recommended setup would be a Panzer Wupperfaller with the Fijar mutagen and the Virex or Plagen antigen. Both work, whatever you want. For the mod setup, like all of our companion builds, this one focuses on priming, quality of life, and armor stripping. I'll quickly go over what each mod does and explain the drop locations. Synth Deconstruct, essentially for energy sustain via equilibrium, acquired from Fortuna bounties level 20 to 40. Pack Leader, gives you Wupperfaller Overguard through melee kills, acquired from Kurbo type enemies, or the primed version can be bought from Barrow. Vicious Bond helps with armor stripping. You buy it once you reach rank 3 over at Deimos from Sun. Tenacious Bond gives a final crit multiplier. You also buy it once you reach rank 3 in Fortuna from the business. Viral Quills and Panzer Devolution enable Wupperfaller abilities for priming and survivability. You get these when claiming the Wupperfaller from Sun. Any of the Retriever mods doubles your credits or resources or both. You can buy these from the same vendors as the Bond mods, so yeah, just go around looking, each one has a different one. Fetch. This is the pet version of Vacuum. Drops on various enemies. Here's a list. Calculated redirection plus reinforced bond allows us to hit 1,200 shield for the threshold that reinforced bonds need to activate the fire rate buff. The shield mod has multiple drop locations. Reinforced bond is bought from the business. The flex slot here is the retriever mod by far, so feel free to swap that out depending on whatever you want to play. For the claw setup, it is built for viral, radiation, magnetic and crit. Swipe is mandatory for armor stripping. Overall, the Wupperfaller is a very solid companion, but in our opinion, the Hound reigns supreme. If for some reason you don't want to play a Hound or a Wupperfaller, then I guess next in line would be the Riga. Let me be upfront, this build is somewhat inferior to the other two, but if you're dead set on using a companion instead of a beast companion, here is what we run. The weapon of choice would be the Hellstrom. Now let me start off by saying this, the Hellstrom you can get from legs in Fortuna once you reach rank 5. It's a bit of a grind, but it's worth it for the setup, plus on a quick side note, you unlock Prophet Taker on the side. Oh, and before you ask, yes, you can play a nuke setup with Verglass, but I won't be showing that here. It is pretty mind-numbing to play and doesn't fit the priming focus playstyle we're aiming for. Most of these mods we are familiar from previous builds: Manifold Bond, Momentous Bond, Synth Deconstruct, Animal Instinct, Regen, Vacuum, and Guardian. Calculated Shot and Arc Coil are the new addition. These come with the Riga by default. Their main job is priming, they do an okay job at that, but the Hound and Wupperfaller are just better. And lastly, Duplex Bond. It allows for AoE priming through the usage of clones. You can buy this from Sun in Deimos once you reach rank 3. Unlike other builds, the Riga actually gives you 2 flex spots, Guardian and Animal Instinct. If you don't need some ability from Guardian, you can swap it out. If you don't need the enemy or loot radar, you can swap that out as well. Also a quick fun fact on the side, for some weird reason, Mystic Bond randomly procs. It's inconsistent, we assume it's Arc Coil that's triggering it, but we don't really know why. Maybe one of you knows, write it down in the comments. For the config for the Hellstrom is pretty straightforward. We're modding for fire rate, viral, radiation, heat, and a bit of status duration, along with some blast radius. The elemental mods and status duration are self-explanatory. Fire rate mods are essential, otherwise the Riga will shoot painfully slow. And a max prime firestorm increases your explosion radius up to 4.32 meters, which is honestly pretty decent for AoE priming. Our final thoughts on the matter are, the Riga does work, but it's slow compared to the other two options. If you're looking for fast group priming, stick to the Hound or the Wupperfaller. Now that we covered the Riga and the other companions, let's dive into the final, and in our opinion, the best option for level cap content, the Hound. This little guy has it all, disarms enemies, primes everything as insane speeds, and offers great quality of life. Don't want to disarm, let it steal Eximus abilities instead. It might sound a bit overhyped, but if you actually check out any of our most recent build videos, you'll notice this exact Hound or its predecessor being used consistently. Before we jump into anything, let's talk about the parts. Here's a quick reminder, you can buy any of these parts or the mods you're missing for cheap on Warframe markets. Our Hound parts of the choice are Model Dorma. This is essential for getting the Batoten weapon. If you already own Batoten, feel free to use any other model. For the core, we are using the Atlet core, chosen for the high base shield value. The bracket is the Zefā bracket, provides bonus shield percentage, further boosting its survivability. The stabilizer is the Hinata stabilizer. It grants you a free Madurai polarity and gives you a mod we need for the build. Now, let's talk about where the magic happens. Let's talk about the mod config. First off, we have Repo Audit, one of the most broken Hound mods there is. It regularly disarms everything around you except enemies with overguard. This mod comes from the Hound when you choose a Dorma model, which we're already using. Reinforced Bond plus Calculated Redirection. We use this to stay above 1200 shields almost always, triggering the 60% fire rate boost from Reinforced Bond. The shield mod drops from multiple sources, and the Reinforced Bond can be purchased from the business in Fortuna at rank 3. Duplex Bond spawns clones upon energy usage. These clones can't use abilities, but they help with priming and the Hound survivability. You can buy this from Sun and Deimos at rank 3. Manifold Bond allows precept mods like Repo Audit and Synergized Prospectus to actually proc status effects. You can buy this from Master Tezunai in Cetus. Vacuum is a classic, sucks in loot. You always have this if you have at least one companion. Must use on every companion. Synergized Prospectus. It primes enemies at insane speed when you combine it with Manifold Bond. This comes with the Hinata stabilizer. Synth Deconstruct enables constant energy sustain through Equilibrium. Thanks to the ridiculous amount of priming that the Hound actually does, you will have no energy problems. It drops from Fortuna bounties level 20 to 40. Prime Pack Leader or Primed Animal Instinct. This is your choice here. Go for Prime Pack Leader if you want an unkillable Hound, even at level cap, or Animal Instinct if you want the better radar. Both can be bought from Baroqueteer. And lastly, Momentous Bond. This grants your Hound 3 random elements upon killing an Eximus. It doesn't matter if you kill it or the Hound kills it, both work. This basically stays up 24/7 since you encounter a lot of Eximus in any mission. You can buy this from the business in Fortuna at rank 3. Now there's only one flex spot besides Prime Pack Leader, and that would be Duplex Bond. If you prefer more survivability, swap it out for Guardian, or whatever your heart desires, honestly. As for the Batoten, these mods are pretty self-explanatory. If you're missing any of them, go farm them or buy them. I'll quickly show the drop locations. Whirlwind Scourge, Vicious Frost, Volcanic Edge, Voltaic Strike, Magnetic Rush, Shattering Impact, Melee Prowess, and Lasting Sting. Overall, a nice priming package, which also armor strips. Well, our closing thoughts on the matter. This Hound setup is simply insane. You should absolutely try it if you haven't already. The sheer speed at which it primes enemies makes it the best companion for quality of life across the entire game, not only level cap. As for other setups we didn't cover, no companion is truly bad. Some are just better than others. Hell, I recently discovered a setup that deals integer limit damage to all enemies, but I can't tell you which one or what mods it is since it's most likely a bugged interaction. I already reported it. Let's see if it gets fixed. Well, thanks for watching the video. If you're not already in the Discord server, we might be holding a contest for free Gemini skins soon, but it's gonna be Discord only, and it's not set in stone yet. I will update you guys if it happens. Hope this guide helped you out. See ya next time. Peace out.